What's up, YouTube? What's going on? It's your boy Jay Handy coming at you one more time with another DIY project. Before we get started though, a special thank you to my 50 subscribers. That's right, 50 subscribers. Hopefully I can continue to make some videos and maybe show you a few tricks that life has taught me. Hopefully I can pass them on to you, whoever's watching, and benefit as I have. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to cut plexiglass. Plexiglass is used by a lot of DIYers. Here's what it looks like. Now this stuff is a little difficult to work with. If you don't have the proper tools, you can end up damaging it and it can cost you a lot of money. One whole sheet of plexiglass, depending on the thickness, can run up to $250. It's pretty expensive. So you want to minimize the damage to it. You also want to make sure that you always double check your measurements when you cut into this stuff. One of the biggest problems, if you're not using the right tool, is it cracks. And once it cracks, it's no good. This project is for a literature cart. So what I have to do is I have to cut a couple of rectangles, 9 inches by 14 inches. But before we get cutting, we have to lay out how many pieces I can get out of this one big piece. So, little word of advice, measure twice, cut once. All right, guys? I'm also gonna be cutting this plexiglass on a table saw. It is a RYOBI BT 3000. They probably don't make that table saw anymore. A lot of people probably tell me, oh, that's garbage, that's junk. All I can say, it's been with me for over 20 years and I've made my money back on it multiple times. So it is what it is. If it ever breaks, it's not gonna hurt me. I'll be more than happy to go out and buy another one. With that being said, I'll show you how to lay out and how to make sure that we get the maximum amount of pieces out of this one big piece of plexiglass. If I take the measurement here and I cut at 14 and 14 again, then I will have 2 rows. And then if I measure this way and I go by 9s, I'll be able to cut 5 pieces. So we got 2 pieces this way and 5 this way. I could take 10 pieces out of this one big piece. Or if I measure 9 this way, I can do 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3. But then when I measure 14 here, at 14-inch intervals, I'll only have 3 pieces. So that'll give me 9 pieces total. So I'm gonna cut this so I can get 10 pieces out of it. That's what you wanna do when you measure. So this is a rectangle, so just imagine dividing it into 9 by 14 pieces, and that will maximize the material you can use, give you less waste. We're gonna go with cutting them this way, 14 inches this way, and then the 9 inches this way. And that will give us 10 pieces. It is kind of windy. We're almost in winter, so I apologize for the wind noise. I know I had a complaint about it, but whatever. He can watch the videos on mute. All right, so the setup. How do we set up our table saw? When you're cutting plexiglass, you want the blade to be sticking up just above the plexiglass. If you set the blade up too high, on that downstroke, when it goes to cut, it actually acts as a hammer and it chips the plexiglass. So a couple of safety tips. The first thing you want to always do is make sure that the machine is disconnected during the setup. Please disconnect any and all power tools when you are not using them or when you're setting up to make a cut. So right now the unit is disconnected. I don't have to worry about accidentally turning it on or anybody else turning it on. You want the blade just above the plexiglass. So I'm gonna lower the blade just a little bit more to make sure there's always contact with the blade. So we know we're gonna cut at 14 inches. So what I wanna do is take my tape measure, find 14 inches, and here's where I'm gonna put my guide. But before I do that, I wanna adjust the table so that that plexiglass that I'm cutting is always on part of the table. Where the fence meets the piece, you want this for support. Here's the rip fence. Take the end of the tape measure, put it on the rip fence, and line it up with the teeth. Now, if you pay real close attention, whenever you look at a blade, the teeth, one goes left and the other one goes right. You take the measurement from the tooth that's shooting out. You see this one is pointing in that direction. You can kind of see how the teeth are in different directions. So you want to make sure, for example, this tooth, you take the measurement from this side, and go to the rip fence. The blade is also very important. When you're cutting plexiglass, you want as many teeth together as possible. If you have a blade where there's a tooth here and the next tooth is here, that's gonna damage the plexiglass, it's gonna mess it all up. So we're all set up. The other part of my setup is my rigid vacuum. Got it hooked up to the exhaust so not make a big mess. That's the same rigid on my J Handy, gets up on a roof video. Check it out, pretty funny stuff. I apologize for not being able to get the first set of cuts on camera. Something happened with the sound, so I'm gonna cut into the second sheet. This is what the first cut looked like. Nice and clean, nice and even. Here's the other 4 tools. So the only thing is, on my first cut, it got a little wavy on me. Other than that, it came out pretty good. No cracks in the plexiglass, and that's what we're shooting for. So this next piece you see me cut will be the second sheet of plexiglass. I've done my cuts, the 14 inches. Now we're gonna do the 9-inch cuts. Again, disconnect the table saw, move the fence. We're gonna leave the blade where it's at. Got the 9-inch set up, and we're gonna cut the 9-inch pieces. Okay, so here we are, 14 inches by 9 inches. We got about 20 of them, so good day. Okay, so all our cuts are made. I'm all done. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just want to also point out, there was no safety on my table saw. I know I should have it on, especially when it's on YouTube. So I want to put this disclaimer out there to everybody on YouTube. Make sure that you follow all the safety precautions that come with your tools. I'm a carpenter by trade. I've been using the machines for years and years. I know it's not an excuse. I've cut my fingers on the table saw. I've nicked it with the safeties on. So just be aware whenever you're using any power tools. Please be aware, and again, follow all safety protocols. Hope you learned how to cut plexiglass, and if you don't have a table saw, it's probably best that you look for someone who does have a table saw, and feel free to share this video or many others like it on YouTube. All right, people, thank you so much again. Before we leave, I'm just gonna raise the blade a little bit, and I'm gonna show you guys what happens when you don't cut plexiglass properly. Uh-oh, get ready. fed it too fast through the machine. Blade was too high. Be careful, please. All right, everybody. See you in the next video.